Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. I know that it's been a while. There's been a lot going on in my life lately. My dad is, not to share too much, but yeah, my dad's not well. And so I've been traveling back and forth to see him quite a bit over the past several months since summer. And yeah, so I haven't done a lot of, or any video making during that time really. But I have a little bit of time now before I go back to see him again and spend some time with him again. Anyways, today, what we have in the vise is a 1/4 ounce Smeltinator jig head. I believe it's, I forget the exact hook, but I believe it's a Gamakatsu hook, but I can't remember the size or whatever. But if you've heard of Smeltinator or have not heard of Smeltinator, these were sort of made famous by Jeff Gustafson, Gussie. If you guys watch the Bassmasters tour, I think it was the St. John's where he won on this particular jig head, and so you can get them at Lake of the Woods Outfitters. I'm obviously not affiliated with them in any way. I don't have near the following for that, but yeah, they're really great jigs. I think they actually have the patent on the mold, so you can't get them anywhere else. And last time they have a store in Winnipeg when I went back home, I picked up a bunch that I thought in my head that I was going to use for just for swim baits and stuff. But I tied a bunch of jigs on them, and I just can't get away from it. So when I go back in February, I'm gonna have to pick up some more because I'm gonna just end up tying jigs with all these things. So. Yeah, we're just going to tie sort of a natural colored looking jig today. We're going to use some olive here to start, some olive saddle hackle. We're going to start building our tail, and then we'll go from there. Yeah. So this olive here is pretty. I don't know if you can see that, if the camera picks that up, but it's a pretty dark olive. Has a lot of sort of that natural browns in it. Which is good. I don't mind it. I don't mind that. Try to get a few of those pieces out. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, maybe some of you do, I currently don't have the means, I guess, the space to pour my own lead for my own jig heads and stuff like that. So if any of you out there pour your own lead, and so typically I just buy from other folks, or I try to buy bulk in places and that type of thing. So if any of you out there do pour your own lead and sell it at a reasonable price, leave a comment in the comment section, and maybe we can, let me know what kind of jig heads or jig molds you have, and yeah, maybe I can buy some off you or something like that. Because I'm always looking. It makes me pretty limited when I have to sort of rely on buying off of other people or buying in bulk from somewhere. You're kind of at the mercy of what the people are making, right? So not a lot of choice necessarily some of the time. But yeah. So I'm always looking for different people, and obviously it's great to support other bait makers and stuff like that. So, but hopefully the day will come soon when I will have my own space here to do that. But I don't have a garage, and I only have a small little shed that doesn't have any power or anything to it, and so yeah, so that's just hasn't happened yet. So, but hopefully it'll happen soon. So we got I'm really rambling a lot today. So we got some olive saddle hackle in there, but looks almost more brownish now. And I'm going to throw a few pieces of yellow saddle hackle on now, just over top. And then we're going to come back again. So I'm going to try to make those just a bit, maybe a little shorter. Not a big deal, but and then we're going to come back again with some olive. I do have some olive schlappen left, kind of only a few scraggly pieces left, which I may try using here, but we'll see. If you ever tie with schlappen, I really love schlappen. for tying tails. I think it has really good action in the water. And also for palmering and stuff too on collars. So maybe we'll save it for the, I don't know, we'll see. But my point was it's difficult to find good schlappen where so here I'll show you a bit of my olive schlappen here. You can just see it's just like that's the way it comes in the pack, some of it. So I mean, I've already picked the good pieces out of there for the most part, but yeah, it's kind of frustrating sometimes, but I do enjoy tying with it. I think they are great feathers if you can find some good feathers. Okay, so we got the yellow tied in, and the yellow basically what I'm hoping for is that the yellow will kind of just be a bit of an accent behind. Yeah, I think, you know what, I do have this. Do I have another decent piece of schlappen here? So I've got, this one's decent. So I'm going to tie this one just over top of the yellow and maybe come back a bit. So leave the yellow tips there. How's that looking there? Is that rolling down on me a bit? I think I need to come further down the shaft here and get that. That should be okay like that. Yeah, and then we'll use this one. This one's not terrible. Maybe I'll snip that here ahead of time. And again, just leaving a little bit of that yellow tip off. And I mean, you know, I don't know. We'll see how this ends up tying, but once I add the bucktail, did I mention I was tying with bucktail? Yeah, I haven't tied with bucktail in a good while, so we're gonna make today about tying a little bit with bucktail. So the bucktail might cover most of that. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just kind of winging it here. On a hope and a prayer, is that what they say? Something like that. All right. Well, I would like this piece of schlappen to stick up a bit more, but all right. And I'm just actually going to bring this back up here real quick, and I'm just gonna tie this. Give it a couple of whip finishes, just so that I know that if it does break now, then I have it at least secured. Because I said, yeah, this is only 140, and usually I tie with 210 when I have it, but I haven't made a purchase anywhere recently. So, and all the local stores here don't have them, don't have any 210. So, c'est la vie. All right. All right, let's get this. And now we can start with some bucktail. And we're going to start with some brown. We'll do brown, and then we'll do, yeah, we'll see. We'll start with brown. And I haven't tied with bucktail in a while, so it's one of those things that it's the material that I started tying with when I first started tying. And I think it's often the material that most people start with. Yeah, maybe just like something like that. I mean, I'm not doing tight wraps here. I'm just doing semi-tight wraps, I guess I'll say. And as I said, I'm just kind of doing this as I go, right? So whether or not I should have made the bucktail a bit shorter here, you know, the argument could be made. But whatever. It'll still look good. It'll still work good. But yeah. So we got that first layer of that in, and then we'll with some olive here, which this olive almost, I don't know if you can see that, how well that comes out, but the olive almost has a hint of chartreuse to it. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice olive. And same thing, I'm just gonna, well, let me see here. I don't want it to come too long. I'll give that a bit of a snip. Maybe a bit more. Yeah, that should be good. All right, we'll get that tight in. Same thing, just some semi-tight wraps, but enough to kind of, you're able to spread the hair around the shank of the hook a bit. And if it's not fully covered, that's okay. Well, I can always, yeah, fill it out later when I rotate the jig in the vise here. I mean, I don't have a rotary vise, as many of you, or some of you might know. Still haven't bought one. It's a hard thing, you know, spending money on a rotary vise or spend money on other fishing stuff. I don't know, but to each their own. Yeah, and now we'll just add in some yellow, and I'm going to try to get some of this sort of like, this is what I mean by dirtier yellow, kind of, it's yellow but has that brown in there still. Particularly as we get closer to the throat area, maybe I'll go with some of those brighter, with some of that brighter yellow, but just for right now, I just kind of want, sort of like to phase it in, so it's not just the Olsen boom bright yellow, if you know what I mean. Why? I don't know. Just for looks, I guess. I'm sure the fish don't really care. But all right, I'm just gonna layer that on top. And again, same thing. I'm gonna push that around. And so that should give me hopefully a bit of a blended look. And again, I'm just gonna do a quick little whip finish here. Just to make sure I have that in case my thread goes on me. All right, and then I'll just continue to do the same. I'm gonna cinch some of this here. And we're just gonna continue to just build it right back up. Kind of do the same pattern again, brown, olive, yellow, and go from there. What do you guys use for scissors? If you guys are tyers and you're watching this, I'm always interested in what other people use. Leave a comment, because I desperately need some new scissors. Even if I sharpen these, they're garbage. So let me know what you use, so I can maybe get a new pair. Yeah. Maybe I'll go a little bit shorter yet. All right. And the trouble with bucktail for me is that it always seems to get away on me a little bit, as far as the collar. And so I'm going to do my best not to let the collar get away on me. Now for some olive. just take that down a little bit more. And I may put a palmered schlop and feather for the collar. We'll see. Not totally decided on that yet, but we'll see how things play out here. And I'm keeping tension on my thread here as I spread this around so that my collar doesn't get too unruly. But yeah, just trying to get, I mean, I could take it out and do things that way, but how are things looking on that side? I probably need to go, yeah, I'll probably end up just taking it out anyway. All right. Yep. Just gonna add a bit more there on the side. And I'm just taking bucktail kind of from the mid range of the tail, the middle of the tail, just in case if somebody's interested. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more of this sort of, yeah, this dirtier yellow, sort of yellow mixed with natural kind of thing around the sides here. And try not to get it onto the throat, but I'm still going to try to spread it around the rest of the hook, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm just gonna work it here with my fingers a bit, and I've got to that spot, so now I'm just gonna add a bit more right in that pocket there somewhere. Yeah, and then I don't know, maybe I'll add a schlop collar or not. It's tough to say, really. Just noticed my collar was getting a bit, I don't want to have a big long collar on this, so I'm just trying to make it so that it's not. Okay. Just trying to press that down as best I can. And move that thread up a little bit at least. Otherwise. But when you make a bad collar with your thread, that's why you can always add in a little palmered feather, you know? Okay, so I've done a bunch of wraps here, and I'm going to be using this whole spool of thread here before I get to cover that up. And yeah, I should have done a bit more trimming before I did all those wraps and all that other kind of stuff. So, you know, make mistakes sometimes. And this is obviously, it's already too thick for my liking. So I've made the executive decision here to put in a schlop collar, palmered schlop feather here, and to hide the grotesqueness of this collar. So, you know, and hopefully it will. Maybe I'll have to add 2 feathers. I'm not even sure here, but Where's my little pick here? Sometimes these things get caught almost similar to a marabou. It looks. Yeah, I'm gonna do two here. So I'm just gonna tie this one off, and then I'm gonna add another one, and then hopefully we will have saved this jig a little bit at least. If I can, that is, if I can find a reasonably good schlappen feather. How's this one? Yeah. We'll see. All right. Just got to pick out some of these feather hairs here as they're getting a bit trapped. Well, I think that's sort of looking better. It could have been a lot worse. But yeah, I should have been, should have paid a bit more attention there. And I was probably also using a bit too much bucktail, and it was getting a bit too thick, too quick, kind of a thing. But I think I was able to salvage this, and I'm just going to give that a whip finish. All right. All right, well, we're gonna leave it at that. Let's see, we'll take her out of the vise here. Just gonna give this little stem here a bit of a trim. Don't want that. It's not horrible. Again, I would have liked to have kept the collar to a minimum, but there we have it. Yeah, just a little bit of we'll put this in the test tank and see how it swims. All right, so let's see how this one swims. Let it get wet a bit first. So yeah, so you can see the schlappen getting a bit of action there on the collar, and the tail feathers kicking. Yeah, I think this one will. And that yellow's popping through there good. so pretty sure this one will catch them. And that schlappen really blows out lots. It's nice stuff. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. But yeah, if your collar ever gets out of control from you, just palmer a feather around it and try and hide your mistakes. Take it easy. Hope everyone is well. We'll catch you next time.